Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy. It's not Semoskiy Winter, guys. There's no snow, but it's Semoskiy. Anyways, our heroes today are going to be CondemnationWings, playing for the Germans. And his opponent this time around is going to be Jesulin, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. So these are two very good players. Probably you already have heard about them, because they are very good, and we'll talk about them a little bit. CondemnationWings, for his part, is currently ranked. We'll actually talk about both ranks. He is, at the time of casting this, ranked number 2 for the Germans in 1v1, and number 5 for the Soviets in 1v1. So, very, very good player. Also, Jesulin, not falling behind that much. He is currently ranked 14th for his Soviet play. So top 20 right there. And Germans ranked number 9, so top 10 even there. So still a really good player, pretty much evenly matched here. So we should be expecting a very, very good fight. So we see that CondemnationWings got himself his Doctrine right off the bat, and that is the Osttruppen Doctrine. Osttruppens are still costing 0, even with the rebalancing on commanders and changing of the costs. They still wanted, Osttruppen to come out immediately, so they're still there. Remember, obviously their capping speed got halved, so, they're kind of hard to use now, but, it's a bold maneuver by CondemnationWings to use them because, again, houses got nerfed and they only provide 35% bonuses, or buffs, or defensive buffs, that is. So, yeah, I mean, they'll be able to stay there for a little while, but not as long as before. Also, while we see a little good engagement here, Osttruppen and conscripts engaging right outside the base of Jesulin. One quick thing to note is in Semoskiy, I believe both versions. I haven't actually checked the winter one since the patch. But the fuel depots got changed to the one right outside the base. It's no longer this. This is just a standard strategic point. A little bit of a change there in the map. So the Osttruppens are holding here. One of them has died, and the conscripts continue to shoot. One of the conscripts did go down to the Osttruppen, so very nice there by them, to get that. But anyways, conscripts jumping into the house, and we have Pios and MG42. So CondemnationWings did get Osttruppen, but he also built tier 1 to start off with. So he's getting a lot of Osttruppen, 3 so far, but MG42s as well. Those are 2 MG42s, one coming right outside of his base, getting flanked by that conscript and forced to retreat right away. Molotov landing in the house with the Osttruppen. The Osttruppen are forced to evacuate, and with an MG42 there for backup, they are able to run away. They will have to run away through a conscript squad, so they might die, but they are 3 men. But 3 men are still pretty weak for a Osttruppen squad. Conscripts jumping into the house over here, but the other conscripts are moving on the field and get a little bit blocked, shot blocked by the house, so the Osttruppen barely make it out alive. MG42 in the graveyard turns around to try to meet the approaching conscript squad, and it is in line of sight, but it looks like it is not able to focus on them and takes a Molotov to the face, forced to retreat, and the only thing left is a Pioneer squad, really, that is currently getting barraged by 3 conscript squads, forced to retreat at 2 men, down to 1 man on the retreat. Very healthy 1 man, however. Will he make it out alive? Taking some shots on the retreat, taking a little bit of damage, but barely makes it out. MG42 now back in the field, sets up in the well there, capable of covering this approach, but we see conscripts hurrahing to the other side. Gonna get a nice flank on that MG42. Osttruppen there to try to defend, but the Osttruppen are not as great. The conscripts, however, do notice the MG42 packing up and repositioning, so it backs off. Very aggressive and very nice maneuvering of conscripts here by Jesulin. Build-wise, we have Jesulin going for 4 conscripts and Molotovs, and we have CondemnationWings with 3 MG42s and 3 Osttruppens. So a lot of MGs. I guess he's maybe trying it out, or he likes them a lot. MG42s did receive a slight buff in the patch. It got a 10% increase on its suppression ability, so they are far more effective now than before. But yeah, nice. So Osttruppen running into the house. They're gonna take positions, duke it out with the conscripts here to the church, while the MG42 as well just opens up on the church, covering the entire approach. So very nice angle there from that MG42. Osttruppens and MGs and Pios flooding the field. MG42 set up on the other approach. There's an Osttruppen out front. There's the Pio going over to the right side, and to the left side, and the far right-hand side of the map is currently just being captured by a 4-man conscript squad. So conscripts over in the graveyard, duking it out with Osttruppen. The Osttruppen not able to even capture the point. They're a little bit too far away and they're just dying. MG42s opening up, both of them, on the approaching combat engineer squad. Piles chasing the combat engineer squad out of the field, and the Osttruppen is just sitting there, capturing, taking quite a beating. I'm trying to say, Doctrine choice for Jesulin. That was the guard mortar coordination tactics, and he got himself the 120mm mortar. Very nice. It's currently bombarding something. It hit the, well, it just hit the open road. But it looks like it's trying to flood the, flush out the MG42. So very nice choice there by Jesulin, considering that he has seen that at the very least there are 2 MG42s. If not, you know, he's already aware that there are 3. So MG42s, pretty much static unit, very easily bombarded by the mortar. You can see there the MG42 sets up in the middle of the road, then jumps away. Oh my God, okay, well, the mortar got a little bit angry with that house and took it out on his own guys, killing 2 of the conscripts inside, blowing a hole in that roof. Look at that. Oh my God. Wow, that's incredible destruction from one shot. And killing 2 of his friendly conscripts inside. MG42 sets up, intercepts the approaching conscript squad, but does take a Molotov to the face, forced to pack up and move. It moves and makes it out with 4 men left, so very nice. And we now have trenches available for the Osttruppen. The artillery field officer did get called in. It's a very nice, versatile unit there that, you know, can make quite a bit of difference. It is essentially a grenadier squad, like we've said before, but it has that officer there with the abilities. It has artillery smoke barrage and concentrated fire, which doesn't actually. Let's see, what is this? The experienced frontline officer can direct and motivate nearby soldiers to be equipped with this is like the buff essentially for nearby units and coordinated barrage. But I think for this one you need to have your own artilleries, but whatever. Anyways, it's still a fighting unit. Going over to the right-hand side, used for capping, conscripts running into them. I am interested to see if the conscripts win this fight. Osttruppen probably going forward, getting on top of that mortar. The mortar forced to pack up and move away. They are Osttruppen, but those are still bullets flying at them, so they are not too keen on getting shot. 1 man does go down on the auxiliary field officer squad. 1 conscript did go down as well. The officer's just firing his Luger as much as he can, trying to shoot the conscripts approaching him, and he actually does kill 1 there with his shot. And is taking amazing cover with that tree. Look at that. No shots can hit him, and he has his arm going through the tree, able to shoot anything that comes on top of him. Molotov landing on the officer, and the officer is forced to retreat, while the conscripts ended up in 2 men. So that squad almost won that. That was very nice. Center map, we see massive engagements. MG42s flooding still the field. There's 3 of them going all over the place. We still have that mortar out in front of the base for Jesulin. Conscripts trying as much as they can to, you know, stop the approaching MGs. And he sets up and riddles the retreating conscript squad down to 1 man on the retreat, and the other 1 gets suppressed, then forced to crawl out of the way. There is a conscript still in range, but the MG42 packs up and pushes forward. Combat engineers, Pios, sorry, with a flamethrower moving up, and are going to throw a burst right on that conscript. Conscript bursts the flame, and the rest of the squad is forced to retreat. Combat engineers, mortar sets up a little bit further back, taking a shot out that MG42. Conscript running down the road, but the second MG42 catches them. Molotov landing on the MG42 forces it to pack up, and Osttruppen there for defense. So very nice usage of the Osttruppen and MGs for CondemnationWings. A little bit, I guess you could say, spammy in the amount of units that he has, but taking into consideration that Osttruppen are very weak in the fight. So very nice combination there. So pretty much a full route here from the outside of his base for Jesulin. He does have a combat engineer squad just back there taking some shots, and down south what are these? These are guard rifles. Oh, interesting. The guard rifle squad with DP light machine guns, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I hear them somewhere around there. There he goes. That's the DP light machine gun opening up. Obviously, considering the rate of fire. And the Osttruppen back off into heavy cover, although that heavy cover does not provide them any defense there, considering they're on the wrong side of it. So they're getting slaughtered by those DP light machine guns. Down to 2. His Condemnation was going to lose his first squad here. Is he not paying attention to the Osttruppen? Down to 1 man. I think he is losing track of them, probably focusing on the north. No, he does retreat. Can he make it out alive? The guards come out. The guards come out. Can they take a shot? They were going to take a shot, but they don't. We're very lucky Osttruppen there. So in front of the base, we see conscripts flooding out and pushing away the Osttruppen. The MG42s are nowhere to be seen, and a house collapses to the shots of the 120mm mortar. MG42 sets up near the church, covering the entire approach, gets a suppression off on one of the conscript squads, continues to shoot him, will probably get a pin down. Second conscript squad moves up to vault over the wall there, getting into the cemetery, the graveyard, with heavy cover from those tombstones. MG42 packs up and sets up once again a little bit further back. Conscript squad coming in for a flank to the north, gets a Molotov off on the church, and forces the Osttruppen to evacuate and run back home. MG42 opens up on the conscripts that are currently in the graveyard, but with the heavy cover provided by the tombstones, they are not getting suppressed. There they go, the suppression finally kicks in, but they're not going to get pinned down. Guard rifles also jump over the fence and get themselves suppressed, but they are now in heavy cover. Nade landing on the artillery field officer, very nice shot there. Down to one man, forced to retreat, and will barely make it out alive. A second MG42 comes in to replace the other man and sets up aiming at the church. Takes some shots at the retreating guards, and the flamethrowers coming in from the piles are forcing those guards to retreat. Conscripts set up in a very nice line here in the center of the road, getting heavy cover from all angles pretty much. And the flamethrowers go off, but the piles decide to sit on a Molotov. They're taking an incredible amount of damage. So they retreat at 3 men, so only 1 man died in that. Very nice. 100mm mortar setting up and taking shots at the MG42s. The piles move up to the heavy cover, but the conscripts are far away from range of their flamethrowers, so they're not able to do much damage. Even their SMGs are not able to really shoot and hit anything. Osttruppens and conscripts duking it out in the very front of the base. MG42, no, that's an Osttruppen. Here we go, the MG42s setting up and moving in to try to fend off the conscripts and stop the cap. We now have a Panzer IV on the field for CondemnationWings, and that'll help them even out the outs here in this frontal approach. But we have nothing on the field right now for Jesulin. He has no tech. He's, basing his entire strategy on his Doctrine, apparently. And I'm assuming he's probably going to be waiting for that doctrinal call-in of the 3485s. Keep in mind, though, those are 7 points that are required, and he is currently at 5, so it's going to be a while before he can contest this tank. He does have guard rifles with VTRS and 18-8 plus the ability to button, so, he can do a little bit to that tank, but not anywhere near for it to die. So center map, the Panzer IV just pushing, is going to run over some walls, remove the amount of heavy cover available for both his units and the enemy units. And the guard rifles are probably going to button this Panzer IV right in front of everything. No. Yes. No. No, they don't. 18-8 going off on the Panzer IV, but it actually does not get a crit. PTRS rifle shooting as well. Panzer IV now down to about 60 or 75% health at most. The PTRS rifles continue to shoot, doing quite a bit of damage. So this Panzer IV is nowhere safe. Takes a nice shot at the guard rifle, nailing 2 of them as they move across the field. Mortar taking some shots as well at the MG42 that is currently supporting it. Forced to retreat, and there it goes. The mortar shot lands a little bit out of position, and the Panzer IV just backs off and holds the line. Pios moving into the field. They're going to start getting repairs off on that Panzer IV, while Osttruppen just, defend the area. Well, actually, no, they go very forward, and they're going to try to cap that victory point. So the Osttruppen being used to scout there. They do have Veterans in 2, which improves weapon accuracy. But that's about it. I don't actually remember if they get any additional bonus. Remember that there's a lot of bonuses there that are not really mentioned by the points, but yeah. So Osttruppen take a nade to the face. Ooh, killing 2 of them only. 1 more goes down to the light machine guns, and they retreat at 3. So let's see, Osttruppen, they get a 25% recharge reduction on the Panzerfaust, so that's nice.
We have new units.
So like I said, that's not mentioned there on the zone, but oh yeah, you get accuracy. The accuracy is 40%, like a lot of other tier 1 units or tier 0. So engagement, nothing really happening. We have a small engagement down south. A lot of conscripts and guards flooding down south. Condemnation Wings is only capturing this side with the artillery field officer. Not even retreating. Artillery field officer does have veterancy too, but now it retreats once it notices that there are way too many units there. It's gonna take some shots as they retreat, maybe lose one guy, two at most, but they'll probably be fine. And the Panzer IV pushes up into the center of the map, forces away everything. The guard rifles backtracking a little bit just to stay on the field but not fully retreat. But the Pioches will win and are going to cut off the entire southern side. Up north in the fuel point, we have Osttruppen and an MG42 set up to defend and cut off any approaching infantry. Conscript Kura forward trying to get onto the MG42, but they are crawling. Are they going to be able to get in range? They keep on getting shot from the MG42. MG42 decides that it's had too much. It's going to pack up and retreat. It notices that, wait, there's too many units coming on the flank over here. So even if I do a lot of damage to this conscript squad, I may end up losing my MG42. So there it goes. But with that, Jesulin gets himself his Doctrine points and calls in those T-34-85s, which will allow him to push away that Panzer IV. However, CondemnationWings has just gotten himself his second Panzer IV, which means that he is now in an even matchup. I am a little bit, I don't actually know who wins that fight, like in a vacuum, a one-on-one, or, well yeah, a one-on-one Panzer IV against the T-34-85 by itself. Does the Panzer IV still win because it's essentially a T-34? Let's just take a little additional damage, or does the additional damage just make it win? Very nice amount of damage though. We see one shot going in there, taking about 30% health off of that Panzer IV. Second shot goes off and brings it down to about 40% health. Second Panzer IV moves in, takes place. House goes off by the Osttruppen and nails a forward lead T-34, doing damage to its engine, and the Panzer IV that came in for relief is going to execute that T-34. There it goes, out of control. Panzer IV takes another shot from the T-34-85. Might take an additional shot before it crashes, backs off, and the T-34 takes a shot at the Osttruppen, missing and crashing onto the very... No, actually it wasn't the post. It just blew up. Second T-34-85 did back off and stayed there for defense, so at least Jesulin has something as far as armor, counters and defense, but, well, he has lost the element of surprise by getting both of them at the same time. Grenadiers now on the field, so CondemnationWings was not happy with the performance of his Osttruppen. He wanted a little bit more punch on the field. And he didn't go for Tier 2 apparently, so he only went Tier 1, Tier 3, so he doesn't have the ability to get Panzer Grenadiers or something like that. So he gets himself a Grand Squad just to have a little bit more firepower on the field. The T-34-85 is going to push a little bit forward. The Panzer IVs did get quite battered. There's one Panzer IV at about 40-45% health, while the other Panzer IV took a big beating, but it's currently getting repaired and is now down up to about 60% health, 70 probably. So it'll get fully repaired in a little while and be fine. T-34-85 did a little bit of a hit there, but it's at about 90% health. And Osttruppen over here on the left side, duking it out with conscripts at long range. You get accuracy bonuses, so that means they're a little bit more effective. But the conscripts as well get accuracy bonus, so they're just as good as killing them. So pretty much the Osttruppen still lose that fight. So center map, we see some combat engineers, some conscripts just moving around, getting flanked. MG42 set up in a nice angle, catches the conscript squad approaching. Conscript squad instantly retreats, decides that, you know what, I'm going to be getting shot by a Panzer IV, so it's not worth it. The mortar is probably going to start shooting at that stationary MG42, although he did see that there was a Panzer IV over here, so it could potentially shoot at that if it's in range, and maybe nail those piles that we're repairing, but it looks like it is shooting at where the MG42 was, so nothing is really going to get hit. Fully repaired Panzer IV moves into the center, setting up a defense. The T-34-85 backs off. And Jesulin is at about 185 fuel, so he is a little bit ways away from that. That's another call in of T-34-85s. Guard rifles in the center. These guard rifles got merged with some conscripts, so these conscripts are glorified there a little bit. Osttruppen just holding line in the center of the road, taking cover with that tree. And they're not going to run into the guards. The guards push forward. The Panzer IV is there. Going to take some shots from the PTRSs. No, the guards decide to back off, taking some shots as they retreat. Down goes one of the conscripts that reinforce them. And the other guard rifle squad only has one guard command there, with the rest of them being constantly merged into it. So this is pretty much a leader telling them exactly how they're supposed to behave in a guard rifle squad. But, well, not a lot you can do about it. They're still going to die. So the guard rifles are forced to pack off. More conscripts flooding into the field. There's a lot of infantry here in the center. We see a conscript squad moving down south. Going to try to recapture some points. We have grenadiers and an MG42 set up here for defenses. And the Panzer Force are just sitting in the center of the map. This one has taken a little bit of a beating. Well, not really a beating. It has taken some shots and is down to about 90% health. Most of them coming to the center, getting shot by the, well, by the multitude of infantry here. So they're taking quite a bit of losses. There's a lot of damage. A nice shot there from Panzer IV nails two of the guardsmen, or, well, conscripts on the guard squad. The guard squad up north as well, taking some shots. The conscripts are the ones that end up dying, and the guard squad still holds. There we go. Nice shot from Panzer IV, nails one of them, forces them to back off. T-34 moves in and takes a shot at, ooh, yeah, that was the Grenadier squad. It nails two of them right there. That whole forces that Grenadier squad to retreat. So Condemnation Wings backs off a little bit and just holds the line. Victory point wise, pretty much anybody's game. We have 366 for Condemnation Wings with 331 for Jesulin. Currently Condemnation Wings double capping Jesulin, so he's getting the ticks in his favor. Up north, a Pio squad with a flamethrower is going to run into a conscript squad. It does have a flamethrower, so it can do quite a bit of damage. Conscripts are in the open, however, so they're not going to be taking any additional damage. But flamethrower goes off, nails one of the conscripts. Second conscript goes down, and they are forced to retreat. However, they do get veterans C3, seeing their men or friends getting burned alive in front of them. They're now tougher, harder for people. Anyways, MG42s in the center, just opening up on everything. Conscript, oh, nasty shot there from the Panzer IV. Second Panzer IV moves up to the north to help against that conscript squad. So a little bit of a split there from Condemnation Wings in his armor. And Jesulin has called himself another T-34-85 squad, which means that he now outnumbers the vehicles, well, not the vehicles, the tanks, for Condemnation Wings. However, Condemnation Wings got himself Tier 4 and gets himself a Panzerwerfer. A very nice unit there. He's going to start bombarding the defensive positions, and, well, I mean, at least he knows there's some mortar, so he can counter barrage that quite easily. We shall see how that goes off. Up in the north, the Panzer IV now going to run into both T-34-85s. The T-34-85s are on the hunt. The Panzer IV hits Blitzkrieg and gets himself out of there, speeding out of the way. The T-34-85s are not even able to do much. A marked vehicle also went down on the Panzer IV, so that is a waste of munitions there for Jesulin, because that Panzer IV got the hell out of dodge. That was a very nice reaction there by Condemnation Wings. No way for him to win that fight. That Panzer IV would have died instantly, and he just gets it out of there. It's still marked right now, still going off. It's about to run out in a little bit, but yeah. And here comes the Panzerwerfer. Well, doesn't actually nail much. It hits a little bit of conscripts there, and the T-34-85 that's on its own. And now it's barraging the entrance of the base and the mortar, but it hits everything around the mortar. Everything except the mortar. So, but anyways, that is going to be very difficult now for Jesulin to deal with, because he is going to be constantly barraged. Panzer IVs are still on the field together. The T-34-85s are back up north, getting repaired very slowly by a 2-man combat engineer squad. It's only 2 men, so they repair obviously at half the speed, because it's a 4-man squad normally. T-34-85 prods into the center, gonna get shot by both Panzer IVs quite instantly. There it goes, 1, 2. Second shot doesn't do much. Panzer IV goes off, and shots landing on nothing.
Requested units have arrived.
But yeah. So that Panzerwerfer barrage ability cools down pretty fast. I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen it used, but I haven't taken notice of how long it takes for it to cool down. So the mortar continues to take some shots into the center. We have a little bit of a line set up here by Condemnation Wings in the center of the map. And the Panzer IV is just shooting the approaching infantry. The Panzerwerfer opens up another barrage. And where is that barrage landing? Very nice barrage here. Oh, kills a lot of guys right there. Nails that veteran C3 constant squad and the other. Well, actually, both are veteran C3. And, well, pretty much forces a retreat on one of the squads at least. 9 kills on that Panzer Warfare. Panzer IV over here on the left-hand side. Nice rifle laid there by the guards, and down goes an entire constant squad to that Grenadier squad. And the T-34s are both damaged on the engine, so it looks like they both took fouls to the face. Panzer IV pushes on its own. Second Panzer IV moving into support. It's the veteran T2 Panzer IV now, which is capable of taking a little bit more punishment. Initial Panzer IV backs off a little bit, but the third T-34 moves in for support, and down is going to go the veteran T2 Panzer IV. It does not even take out the T-34-85s, and the Panzer Warfare takes some barrages and actually kills more stuff, but, well, I was focused on this side. There goes the rockets in the air, sorry. And we're forced to retreat over there, but oh, man. So CondemnationWings lost one of his tanks. That was the highest veteran C1. He still has a veteran C1 tank, very close to veteran C2, which will provide with that defensive buff. And the T-34-85s are still on the field, and pretty much untouched. This one is fully repaired right now, and heads into the center. Says to the officer, "Get the hell out of here." Takes a shot, kills one of its men, and forces the rest of the squad to move out. Osttruppen into the center. Can't take a Faust off on that T-34-85, but they're getting ripped to shreds by the guns. One goes down to the shot. The second one goes down to the coaxial machine gun. And, yeah, they decide to retreat. So the Panzer Warfare sitting in a very nice spot here. It's a very nice nook where you can get in range of everything but not be approachable in a direct side. And here we go. 4 barrages landing. And where are they getting shot? Okay, well, Condemnation was just shooting at, at nothing. He expects that things might be there, but there's currently nothing. Panzer IV taking some shots at approaching conscripts. Pioneers just there to defend. MG-42 dropped on the field. They get picked up by anybody. And on the left-hand side, the Osttruppen is just holding the line. Right-hand side, Osttruppen as well, she's capturing and trying to hold the line while the guards rifles are capping.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And the conscripts back off a little bit from the center. Order squad back on the field. That Panzer Warfare moving back up, gonna get in range to throw another barrage. It already has veteran C1, which at veteran C1 it has the counter barrage. There goes the barrage. Where are the rockets coming? Nope. Shooting over here. Well, it nails that conscript squad and forces it to retreat. And they should follow the rockets instead of assume where it's shooting. Conscripts in the center, forced to retreat. Pios as well, and the Grenadiers retreat just as well. A very nice shot there from the mortar, almost nails the squads as they retreat. Does a little bit of damage to the approaching squads. And the Panzer IV just sitting there in front of the base. Very nice barrage there by the Panzer Warfare, killing a lot of infantry. But, well, it doesn't actually kill anything specifically, so they are fine. T-34-85 just pushing into the center. We have 2 still up in the northern side. This T-34 did take a toss in the face, and the Osttruppen are forced to retreat. Panther now on the field. No, not yet. A little bit ahead of myself. There we go. Panther now on the field for CondemnationWings, so we shall see where he sends it. And on the right-hand side, we have Osttruppen trying to capture territory. This Osttruppen squad is going to go down, even though it's veteran C3. There it goes, gets killed. And on the right-hand side, some Pios are trying to capture that victory point. They do manage to get the point capped. And we are currently 305 to 278 in the favor of CondemnationWings. But Jesulin currently has the points. Up in the north, we have a combat engineer squad that went for the cap. And in the center, we have an engagement between Panzer IV, now with veteran C2, against the T-34-85. This T-35 took a little bit of a beating. Second one is masked by the building there, but unfortunately, company heroes through the building, even though you can see through it, you can't actually shoot through it. So, even though the tank can clearly see the Panzer IV, it is technically not an in-sight range, so it can't actually shoot at it. So the Panther moves into the field and gets right behind that T-34-85, the second Panzer IV, or well, the only Panzer IV that is, moves up and takes some shots at the T-34 as well, taking quite a beating from the other T-34-85, but the first one, T-34 in the center, goes down to from the Panther. The Panther moves up and is now going to go on the hunt for the other T-34-85. Very nice. This Panther is going to be able to clear it very easily. T-34-85 not even getting any penetrations into the frontal armor of the Panther. Just getting bounce after bounce after bounce. And the Panther just executes him. One last shot will go off from the T-34-85. Nails the Panther, finally gets the penetration. But the T-34-85 is now out of control and it's going to crash into the house. And there it goes. Gets one last shot off on the Panther. It does a little bit of damage. Very nice. Brings it down to about 75% health. The last remaining T-34-85 is currently up in the north, helping his combat engineers defend and force away a Grenadier squad. But it is now a 2-on-1 fight, and the Panther can pretty much go a 1-on-1 against that T-34-85, as you saw against the other one. Panzer Warfare taking some shots into the center of the map. Here comes the barrage, and nothing. Yeah, that is a problem with artillery. It's amazing sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't do anything.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
So the Panzer IV and the Panther are able to hold the line here against all the approaching infantry. The conscripts, however, are able to capture the point, or well, decap it at least. They're currently capturing, while the Pios are moving up to engage them. It is a 4-on-4 fight, and the Pios do have a flamethrower, so the conscripts could end up losing. Down goes one of the conscripts to the flamethrower. Molotov going to be tossed in response. They have their own modes of flame, and they are forced to retreat, but a relieving guard rifle squad moves in, finishes capturing the point, and forces the Pios to retreat. Panzer IV still damaged and with a, well, I mean, it's at about 90% health, but it has a damaged engine. And the Warper is going off into the center of the map, but doesn't actually hit anything this time. Up in the north, Panther moves in to support the officer, and the T-34-85 is still around there. Another call-in of T-34-85s are on the field and are heading straight into the center of the map, a little bit to the right-hand side. Osttruppen going to get annihilated by them. It's moving up, trying to get a Faust off apparently, but it gets executed as they move. One Osttruppen on the field trying to capture that victory point, but the guard rifles are going to deny them, and they decide to retreat instantly, not wanting to lose that veterancy, so very nice choice there by CondemnationWings. Panther and Panzer IV in the center, helping out their Osttruppen members, but the Osttruppen decide to burn alive in unison, synchronization deaths, and, well, that was quite questionable. Panther backing off, getting rammed by the T-34-85, and there it goes, but the ram does not go through, only gets a shock on the crew, and that T-35 is down. Second T-34 moves in, takes a Faust to the rear from the Osttruppen, getting a crit on the engine, and a marked vehicle goes down on the Panther, but the Panther is going to back off, get out of the way with the support of the Panzer IV. Will be able to kill this T-34-85, but the third T-34-85, the one in the north, moves in to finish off the Panther. Can he finish him off? That is questionable. No, it does not get the penetration. Needs to move up and take a shot, but he decides that caution is the best choice here. Backs up right on top of one of its own mines, but the mines in this era are very aware. They have ships in them and they don't detonate friendly, so it's very nice. But yeah, that T-34 makes it out. And the Panzer IV is now better T3. More barrages going off onto the victory point. A lot of damage. Wow, look at that. Guard rifle forced to retreat. Grenadier down to one man. But since it forced the retreat of the squad, it actually is going to stay there and finish the cap. It took a shot from the artillery onto it, and apparently it killed two of its own men. But that is enough for the cap to go through. But the conscripts are going to be able to finish off this retreating Grenadier. No, he barely makes it out. Gets masked by the hedgerow and makes it out. Very lucky there for CondemnationWings. Panzer IV in the center, trying to push away a conscript squad, but Veteran 63 conscript squad does get defensive bonuses, so it doesn't really care that much. Finishes capturing the point, and victory point wise, we are 218 for CondemnationWings and 268 for Jesulin. So Jesulin able to bleed CondemnationWings quite severely. Condemnation was in the lead for a while, but right now he is losing in those points. Stat-wise, we can see here that CondemnationWings has inflicted a lot more damage, but Jesulin has killed more units. Obviously, he's killed more units because there's a lot of Osttruppen on the field, and those die very quickly. So, you know, numbers aren't everything. Right now, we can see that CondemnationWings is pretty much in the lead right now simply because of the armor he has. So yeah, I mean, Panzer IV is a little bit disabled here. It needs to get repaired to have a fully functional engine, but it's still very capable of killing stuff and defending in the center. So, you know, not a very big deal for CondemnationWings at that point. The Panther, however, is the one that needs to get a lot of repairs and is currently... Where is it, actually? Yeah, back at base. Actually, no, that's not back at base. That's just outside of base. Anyways, barrage coming into the center and lands right where all the infantry was, but the infantry moved out of the way. So nice reaction time there from Jesulin. Second barrage goes down right on top of everything and nails some of the infantry. Conscript 1 goes down to 2 men, forced to retreat. Sorry. Panzer IV taking some shots through the hedgerows at the guard rifles. The guard rifles run into the artillery field. Okay, never mind. Anyways, the guard rifles are duking it out. A nade goes down on the artillery field officer, and it's forced to retreat. And the guards are just moving out of the way. There is a LMG-equipped Gren shooting at them. They decide to jump into the house and will probably take a rifle nade to the face. Yeah, there goes the rifle nade. Gonna hit the house and do a bit of damage. There it goes. Kills 2 of the guard rifles, and the rest are a little bit damaged. We have some Osttruppen and an MG42 that got picked up by the Osttruppen on this side of the river. And the Panther, now fully repaired, heads into the center of the map. We have a dropped weapon PTR rest here from this guard rifle. Guard rifle not able to do much damage now to the Panzer IV, and that PTR rest rifle can't get picked up by anybody.
Yes.
Grenadier squad would probably be my choice, but I suppose that's okay. Pios and Grants pushing into the center, or the outside of Jesulin's space, going for the cutoff. Conscripts trying to hold the line by getting flamethrowered and LMG'd. That's going to be a lot of damage going down on them. The mortar does land on the Pios. The Pios are getting cooked alive. They are cooking back in return, bringing them down to 2 men and forced to retreat after that. Veteran C3 on those Pios, very nice. Veteran C, however, on Pios and combat engineers only give you bonuses to the ability to repair. You repair, you know, faster, and at Veteran C3, you also get the ability to not take additional damage while repairing in combat. T-3485 still on the field here for Jesulin, now fully repaired, heads into the center, but it does have to deal with a Veteran C3 Panzer IV. At Veteran C3, it gets mobility and rate of fire, which in you know, actual stats is 30% reload reduction, 20% rotation, and 10% acceleration. Whatever that is. So anyway, Panzer IV moves up, takes some shots at the T-3485, doing a lot of damage. Panzer IV not taking much damage in return. Only took about 20% damage at most. The Panther still sitting there quite comfortably, and the T-3485 now Veteran C2, which says hardened crews improve main gun targeting and rate of fire. So the gun itself turns faster and, you know, shoots faster. And here comes a barrage and lands right on top of that AT gun. And oh my god, decrews it completely. An amazing barrage there by that Panzerwerfer. Very nice there by CondemnationWings. Panzerwerfer now at Veteran C2, 34 kills to its name. And we also have, oh my god, a railway artillery getting called in somewhere. Where? Ah, over there on the victory point. Probably killed somebody over there. I can't actually see. But yeah, very nice usage of stuff. Anyway, the Panzerwerfer taking some more shots into the center, being very annoying. At Veteran C2, it says shell accuracy and rate of fire. What that means is 20% scatter reduction and a 40% ability recharge. And there we go. Jesulin says, that's it. I can't deal with this anymore. So let's move out of the way here so we don't actually hear that noise too much. There we go. So yeah, that's about it. And that was an amazing game. Very nice there by CondemnationWings. That Panzerwerfer was quite amazing. I mean, a lot of damage. 38 kills. And he had also gotten himself another Panzer IV just to supplement his tank forces. So very nice strategy there with those Osttruppen, and very nice play by both. Jesulin also as well did quite a good job. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.